Hi, Julie.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. I'm feeling a little anxious, a little nervous for the times we're living in, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm picking up because Wednesday is the big, is it inauguration or that's how you say it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Inauguration day in the US.
Inauguration. That's right.
Changing, I want to say changing of the guard.
That's what it is. I mean, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're changing of the guards.
Yeah, so I mean, I can feel, so even though I'm not in the US, I can feel the anxiety, like it still feels tense, like it's not going to be real until everything has been said and done, right? Like
Right.
until it's been approved or yeah,
Yes.
finalized. So
I
I'm
found
sure
out
there's
12:01 because remember you were asking yesterday
oh
what
right.
time it is? Yeah, 12:01 is the
That's an
changing of the guards.
that's an interesting time,
I know, right?
12:01. Like
Right?
1 minute after 12.
Yeah.
Like it's so witchy or something
Right? The witching hour,
during
right?
the day in the US on
Yeah.
Capitol Hill.
And here we are.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
anyways, I'm picking up on that. Like, and
Good.
I think
Yeah.
it's not just, um, like limited to just the Americans in the US. I feel like worldwide, like, there are people who are feeling that tension and anxiety for you guys too, right? So,
Oh, yes. Yeah. I feel
mhm.
it's a worldwide event, really, because
Yeah,
the world has been in on this same kind of wavelength of mistrust, really, is what it comes down to, right? Nobody's trusting anything. So that's
yeah,
where all this fear comes in, and that's felt worldwide.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And the Americans, I mean, even though it's a young country, I mean, a lot of citizens of the world, you know, take their cue from America or follow America or, are influenced by America in many ways. So yeah, so it
Yeah.
is big. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be big if it was happening in Canada too. We watch you guys, we watch,
Uh,
Italy, we watch all the same, of course, because we're all kind of connected. We're all absolutely connected.
right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
welcome everybody. Welcome to inauguration week. And I see mom's here. Happy to see you, mom.
Yeah,
She's
yeah. Hi,
anxious for
Doreen.
this.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to share, like, honestly, Julie and I were kind of stumped. Like, what are we going to talk about on today? And we still are. Like, we have no idea.
No.
So that's why it's kind of titled Soulful Conversation Walks. Let's talk about whatever. Like, we'll just see how it goes. I'd be surprised if we go the hour, but I've said that before and we have, like, and
Yeah.
past. So if any of you watching, if there's something you want to bring up, please do. Like, we're checking the chat room.
Yes.
I guess a few things that we were looking into, like, I guess it's been an emotional month, right? Regardless what's going on, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to call it like it's the energies of the month. And
Yes. For
so
real.
it's,
It's been
yeah,
dark. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, this is, I want to say like this week, I don't want to say like it'll be done. That's it. Things will be better. Like, but I just feel like this week, if we can get over that hump, like this heaviness that a lot of us have been feeling,
Yeah.
it's like if we can just get through, this week, it's like things will lighten up. That's what I feel. Things will lighten up. They're not going to be
Yeah.
100%, but, we'll feel like, okay, we can breathe, or, there's some sort
Yes.
of sigh of relief. And that could be, maybe I'm wondering if it's tied to the American politics, with,
Yeah. It's been tense. Yeah.
mhm, yeah, for
Well,
sure.
yeah, because we're not making any friends here, in our showing by example. All we're showing is that we're heading to war with each other, and
Yeah,
we're so divisive, so polarized in what we believe. So I guess that goes
yeah,
back to, I was thinking about this last night when you were saying that awakening has been your bug word, that
yeah,
triggers you. And I was thinking about this because, everyone keeps talking about this new awakening that we're heading into in the age of Aquarius and all of these ideals of where we're going to be in the future when we're feeling safe and free and unencumbered by 3D mentality.
right.
But but the very point of enlightenment is to realize what already is. So kind of like knowing what is, to believe, trusting what already is enlightenment. Because how can you go forward with any idea if you don't know what's behind you, what your foundation is, to grow on that. So I feel like that's what we're coming into, is just a more solid foundation of basic truths. And basic truths, I'm meaning like values, our goals, our, what makes us thrive, what those kind of basic truths, laws of the universe type truths,
Yeah.
universal laws. Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
thinking about that people are so ready to get out of this because it is dark and gloomy and scary, and you don't know what's real. It's kind of all smoke and mirrors right now, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of a form of escapism to look to a future that doesn't include all of this darkness. And that's
Right.
great to do, to have something to look forward to. None of us have had anything to look forward to in a very long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like we haven't had any fun.
Mm-mm. No.
Things have been so serious, and I think
Yes.
that contributes to feeling the heaviness and feeling the sadness and, despair, because I get despair too,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Um, I believe like it's mental health awareness month. I'm not sure. I tried
Yes.
looking, yeah. So that makes sense too, like, this time of the year. And, it's because it's like, yeah, we're excited when the new year starts, but then it's almost like, okay, well, what's happening in my world or in my life? And it can get depressing when you look at it, right?
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's like how many of us feel stuck,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Most all of us feel stuck right now, feel like we're waiting, and we're battling what feels right to us. So that's a big internal battle too, because you have all these truths coming at you at once, especially from media, social
Right.
media, the media outlets themselves. They all want to tell you to believe this, that this is what is happening. This is the
Yeah.
truth. And that's just so hard, because you know what your own truths are. You know what feels good to you, and that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, or that's illogical, or that argument's not holding water. So we've lost that debate. We can't even find middle ground to say, well, I could see why you feel that way. That kind of went away, right? There's no understanding anymore right now. But it's just this crux of change, this inauguration, this worldwide COVID. We've been isolated. We've been filled with fears, filled
Yeah.
with them since forever. Before even COVID hit, we were filled with political fears of what our
Yeah.
future was going to hold for us, all of
Exactly.
us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 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 And it's hard. Like, I don't know. Um, I feel this is the year like people are going to break free or want to break free what's limiting, right? So,
yes.
and I feel like, we'll be tested, like our limits will be tested this year. So if you find you're stuck, or like you feel like there's no movement in a certain part of your life, or yeah, or area, stop and see, like, where am I being limited? Like, is it a thought? Is it a belief?
Yeah.
Is
Right.
it your work environment? And if that's the case, like, do you start looking into changing jobs or careers? Is it where you live? And if that's the case, do
Yes.
start looking, it doesn't mean you have to make that big change, but it's like, just explore. It's like, explore. It's a good time
Yes.
to
Explore.
explore. Yeah,
Hmm.
explore and see and get a feel, right? So,
Yeah. Find a
right.
thread. Find a
Yeah.
thread to explore, but be open-minded. Don't just, we were talking about this the other day too, you and I, about this cult mentality too, that you
Mm,
can't have, you're not a free thinker if you're part of a cult either. You're not adding, you're not contributing new ideas
yeah. Yeah.
to that. So
Yeah. So I have a concern, and I feel that momentum will pick up in the spring. And I feel like one of the main culprits will come from America, unfortunately. So
Oh
I
yeah,
have a
right.
concern about cults coming up or rising starting this spring, right? So
Yes.
it's like I've noticed there's some rumblings right now, but I feel that will pick up momentum in the spring. So I just want people to just be aware of that. Like, I mean, I don't know if, how do you tell someone like, oh, you get caught up in a cause or in a movement or in a group, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
just,
Yes.
yeah. And I think for me, like with the cult, one of the signs is like they are absolutely right, or they have the answer, or this is the way,
Yes.
right?
Right. Yeah.
And
Follow me.
right. And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, they should be, I think of if they're not, I feel that's not authentic because, someone is out there, wanting to help others in need. Part of being authentic is like if they can't help you, they will state that. Like they'll say like, I'm not the
Yeah.
one person then who can help you out of this. I recommend or try this, right? They'll help you,
Right.
but not maybe it's coming from them. And I feel cults don't do that. Cults,
Yeah.
they're
The temporary fix. Yeah.
they're the
To the
answer.
permanent problem.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Trina's got it down. She's got it down. Hello, Trina. She's saying that go within and rise above, because really, what else can you do but rise above all of these smoke and mirrors that are around us? It's just to distract us from real things that are happening. Like we were saying, poverty still exists. In 2020 during COVID, 500 children in the United States under 18 died of thirst.
Um,
Thirst, because the schools were closed, and that's where they get their food and their water. So all of these things are getting lost in the argument of arguing, just for the sake of
yeah,
arguing. Yeah, it's really, really sad when things
it
like
is.
that get pushed aside and ignored. Children of thirst in this country, in the United States of America. That's disgraceful. That's
Yeah,
disgusting. And it
yeah,
has to stop. We have to stop distracting ourselves from these truths. And that's the
yeah,
truth.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I find like those in a position of being able to help or to do more, I don't understand
No,
how they get away with not helping out more
I
or
know.
not being held accountable. It's almost
Right?
like if someone starts to like, question their motives or question like, why aren't you helping out more? It's like it gets shut down.
Yes, it
And,
does. And
and
then
that's
it's
when
it's
they,
virtue signaling. You get all this, well, I've done this, or I've given to them, or I've done all I can do, and you get that
yeah,
too. It gets right, right. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's so sad, because there's so many heroes that should be emerging right now, right? There's
yeah,
so many heroes that are heroes right now. They're out
yeah,
there. They're just
yeah.
getting
So,
ignored.
yeah. So one of the themes for this month is walking the talk,
That's
you know?
right. That's
So,
right.
so let's say, like, one of the things I've heard, okay, and this is related to COVID. So, when the world was shutting down, so a lot of businesses, right, except for, I mean, I don't know about every country, but many of the big retailers didn't, right? They were allowed to
Hmm.
stay open and operate.
Right. Yes.
But a lot of the small businesses couldn't, right? Even if
Right.
what they provided was similar to the big box retailers, but maybe not, as much, right? Like they don't have the big
Right.
store, the big buying
The mom and
power.
pop stores. Yeah.
So one of the things that was coming out was like, support local business or support small business. But how many of us still so when there is that opportunity to shop or buy from small business, how many of us actually do?
Right.
Or do we go to Walmart because I know it's cheaper, right? I
Hmm.
know it will be, right? But not always.
No, not
That
always. No.
sometimes you can get a bargain with the smaller business or just, the same price, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it's like that's what I mean. It's like, okay, if we're gonna say, we're mad at the big, box stores, do we have what are our choices? If there is the opportunity to buy from a smaller retailer, do you? Do you follow through? Are you
Do I
walking your
personally? Yeah.
well, no,
Yeah.
I'm just saying like out there, like I don't
Yeah.
know about you,
Well, that's a good
right?
question. Yeah. It's a
And if
valid
and if
question. Yeah.
and if and I'm not saying like, don't buy from the big retailers like Walmart. Like, that's your business. It's, you do what you have to do, but don't go and turn around and say like, you're mad at Walmart because
Yeah.
of blah, blah,
Right.
whatever, right? Or
Yeah.
I support small businesses, but you always shop at Walmart. Like that defeats
Yeah.
the purpose. You're not walking your talk. You see what I
Yes.
mean? So
Right.
that's,
Yes.
and then the other thing I want
Yeah.
to say with that too is like, um, I've noticed like COVID. So COVID for me is like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
I don't
I
know how many
like
people
that.
feel that way, but it is like I see so many. Every time I turn around, it's like, oh, that's a gift. Like because there's opportunities for us to improve and to move forward and to, break the barriers or break what's been holding us back or break what's not working. So, anyways,
Yeah.
my other big pipe with this is like the big box store. So I don't care if it's Amazon or Walmart. It's like, why didn't they share their profits more?
Right. Why didn't they help more?
So it's like, whether that's like, giving a monthly bonus to their staff, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's like, oh, we're going to start a small business fund. Because
Yeah.
really, a
Right.
small business is not going to put them out of business.
Yeah.
Really? Like, really, in the grand scheme of things, like they're so big and make so much money. Like, mom and dad pops, a mom and dad store, little store is not going to put them out of business. So it's like, why not
Yeah.
have a fund? And it's like, okay, small business is an important part of because it's part of their community, but they're not seeing it that way. They're looking at everything from a competition or like more for us, more for,
Yes. Agreed.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's greedy. And it's like, I think COVID is bringing awareness. Like we got to stop this greediness and competition. And
Yes.
it really
Absolutely.
gets me when I see some of these big stores saying we're all in this together, and it's like, no, you're not. You're
Yeah.
not walking your talk. You're not helping. You're not.
Right.
You're not
No.
doing
No.
enough. So
No.
I
Right.
wish they
I
would
hate
step
that.
up more. Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
what, they could do so much more, and they're not. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? I'm doing my best not to shop at those places. I really am. I'm not saying I'm 100%,
Yeah.
but I'm more, I'm just trying to shop, I guess,
Yeah.
more locally or support more local businesses. And I mean, it's not always easy, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
I
that's
do that too.
my
I
pipe.
love that. Yes. Hi, Chrissy. I see my friend Chrissy is here.
Oh yeah.
Um, and two, the reason I stopped shopping at like Walmart, and I go to Walmart for, well, I use Amazon for paper products, things like this. But for
Yeah.
food products, I really started noticing what I was eating a couple of years ago. Processed foods make me sick, make me tired, make me sluggish. If I can eat fresh food. So the one store that thrived, that was always available, had food available. We went through a real food shortage here in March, April, when COVID
Oh wow.
really started coming out here. The grocery stores were empty. It was the freakiest
Wow.
thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But Sprouts, the local Sprouts farmer market, was always abundant in vegetables and food and beef, protein, things like that. So I've been shopping at Sprouts because of that, because I'm so tired of eating their chemicals, their process that's cheap. It's cheap. McDonald's is very
Yeah.
cheap. You can, Taco Bell's one of the cheapest restaurants. I love Taco Bell. I'm
Yeah.
not cutting it out of my life, but I can't eat it every day. I can't. It makes me
Yeah.
sick, and I feel that in me. So the
Yeah.
mom and pop stores really stick to quality over. That's why it costs more, because
Mhm.
they're thinking about what they're feeding you, what you're consuming. We're all consuming this stuff.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that about the mom and pop stores, where the Amazons and Walmarts aren't looking out for our
No.
well-being. I'll tell you that.
No, they're not. No, and
Yeah,
the small stores, they don't have the buying power or the breaks like the big stores
they
do.
don't.
That's
No, they get
which is
all
it's like, that's not fair
ridiculous,
anymore. Yeah.
like they need it.
It's not. Yeah, they do. They do. And I mean, I don't know, like when you shop with a
Inequality.
smaller, yeah, you get the quality, not only let's say maybe in the products, but in the service,
Yes, you do,
right?
because they care.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's like,
Winco cares. Yeah, these big corporations. If you remember the corporations that were employee owned,
mm,
Winco is one of these. They're an employee owned huge grocery store here in the U.S. they really care about you. They do everything they can to help you in that store, because every dollar you spend goes to them. They're profit sharing from their own store. And that's the best motto I can think of, because 95% of the world's wealth, 95% belongs to 5% of the world's population. There are trillionaires in this world, trillionaires, and there are children dying of thirst. So what kind of fair life is this? What the inequality has just been so transparent now. It's very transparent.
You know, I'm for, like, you know, people succeeding and being rich. I'm not denying that. But when I hear about Jeff Bezos,
Yes.
who else is up there? Like, Bill
Facebook,
Gates.
Zuckerberg, Bill
Yes.
Gates. Bill Gates
I
at least has his foundation. He tries to give some of that money back, but even that gets thrown in his face. Then all the conspiracy theories start, because the rich don't want to give up that rich, but they can't have us all peasants either. Who's going to consume their products? You know, we are consumers.
Yeah.
So,
well, my gripe with Bill Gates, like, you know, that's great. He's got this foundation. I wish he would pursue alternative healing therapies as well. Because if he's about health and well-being, my understanding is, I'm not buying into the conspiracy. That's not about it. It's just that, okay, if he's into the health and well-being and he's helping develop, you know, cures or vaccines, whatever it is his foundation does, it's like, okay, but what about the other stuff, like good nutrition? And healthcare, right? Like, why should someone pay $20 for a pill at the hospital, right?
Right.
That's ridiculous. Whatever it is, right?
Yes.
You know, promoting, you know, fresh air, you know, clean water, like, because that's part of health and well-being. So I wish his foundation would incorporate that, but I don't think they do.
No, I don't think so.
But you know, these guys that are like super rich, I mean, it's to the point where it's like, you know, I'm just tired of hearing about their successes, their wealth, because it's sickening.
It is. It's disgusting, right? It is.
Yeah. And
when people are starving, it's disgusting. Yeah.
You know, and the other thing that's like very apparent is they're rich white men, most of them.
Of course they are. Yes.
Yes. And, you know, they're privileged, and it's like, what are they doing? How are they sharing that privilege to make it better for those that struggle or hit a wall time and time and time again? Right?
Right.
To make something of themselves or of their life. So I feel they're not doing enough, even though if people like get on their soapbox and try to, you know, cheer them on or claim they're the greatest, it's like, I don't see it that way. I'm just so disillusioned, and I just feel disappointed by them.
Me too.
And especially, you know, like all these things that have come out, like with the Me Too movement and, you know, the race issues, you know, that is so apparent, the rioting, you know, all this. And it's like, they're just sitting back, keep on collecting the money. They're just rolling in the dough.
Billions during COVID. Billions of dollars have been made. Billions, while we're all trying to get our little piece of that 5% worldwide. You know, there's just not enough to go around. There's not enough. We're all working 2-3 jobs. You know, we're exhausted from trying to survive. We've been in survival mode since 2008 crash in the US. Since the housing crash, I feel like we've been really in survival mode.
Yeah.
And that's just led to this. Yeah. And so when you get into survival mode, you become desperate, and desperate people are scary people because they're desperate, you know, and people are desperate right now.
Yeah. So anyways.
So how do we fix that? Come on, people.
Yeah.
Well, I know how we fix that. We get away from these cults. We get away from these myopic views, and we pull ourselves out into the broader perspective. You know, you have groups claiming that the earth is flat. You know, that's their argument, that the earth is flat. And So we need to pull out of that broader perspective of all of it and realize that we're all humans. We're all connected. We're all suffering. We're going through this together. Don't turn on each other. Don't turn on your brother because
Yeah.
you don't agree with what he's saying. You know, you have to understand where he's coming from because he's scared and in survival mode too.
Yeah.
And I guess that's
Yeah.
where it starts.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, like we're, especially if this is a time where people are saying we have to help each other and we have to support
Mhm.
each other. Well, we really do. And I just feel I don't see enough evidence in it in the media. I'm
No,
not saying
not
like
there.
closer to home. Like, I'm sure there are families that, and friends that are there for each other. But in the whole, in general, it's like in the media, it's like these people who are looked up to,
Mhm.
right? Or worshipped, or however you want to put it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing enough evidence for them like taking the lead and like demonstrating like, yeah, this is what it means to be in together, help supporting each other. And it's like, put your money where your mouth is. Like,
Yes.
share your wealth, financial wealth, your intelligent wealth, right? Like what's
Yes.
right? It's like
Absolutely,
everyone,
Tina.
that's part of the
Yes.
fear. It's like everyone's scared, like, because it's so competitive. We've been living in a society that's this competitiveness has just been building year after year. And it's like, I feel COVID is like, it's
Mhm.
trying to shut all that down. It's not about competing anymore. There's no the best,
That's right.
right? There's no
That's right.
one who has all the answers or, you know, but it's like that's the world we've been trying to create, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and we see it with these
Yes.
different lists, right? Because,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And wealth means more than money. Wealth
that's right.
means so much more than money. Money is just a made up concept that we made up to trade and barter with. You know, that's
Yeah,
it. So we've made it this worshiping. We've made money our God. You know, we've
yeah,
minimized God so much, and then we say God's not powerful. Well, you minimized him. You took the word God and you made it mean nothing. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like money is that's what COVID did. Like COVID, like you see, that's another gift. So COVID is showing us like how we value money, how much money means in our society, how much power it has. And it's like
Right.
that's one of the things we've got to heal moving forward. And it like that's a daunting task. Like so that's why,
Mhm.
these big corporations, they've got to demonstrate or step up. Like, and I'm including the banks too. Like the banks are saying,
Yeah.
they're helping out this and they're here for us. And it's like, no, for a price you are. Like
Yeah.
that's
Right.
crap that you're there for us. No, you're not. You just want your money.
Right. How much is this going to cost us?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it costs you more than money. See, that's the thing. It costs you so much more than money when you're just blindly following that route, you know, that path. It just costs you everything to just follow the money only. You know, you can't just be so absorbed in any one thing, everything in moderation. You know,
Yeah.
you can't just go all in. But it is this all or nothing mentality. You know, it's like if you're not first, you're last. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
well, what happened to
Yeah.
second place? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Sister
Yeah.
Vicky. How are you today?
Oh yeah, she's here. Yeah.
Yes, and Sherry.
Yeah.
Yes,
So we were because I think it was last week we were talking about community, right? Like how people
we
are
were.
craving community or like craving like they want to belong. Because
Hmm.
so there's and then we were talking about this afterwards, right? Julie
Yeah.
and I, and it's like it seems like people want more than that because community hasn't been working,
Mm-mm.
and then
Yeah, we just
also
feel
like
isolated.
tribe, right? And tribe's
Hmm.
been another buzzword, like, going around like, who's your tribe? Look for your tribe, right?
Yeah,
And it's like
right.
that hasn't been working.
No.
So we agree like that people now, like moving forward, are searching for their soul family.
Yes.
So you guys let us know what you feel like, soul family. So soul family is you may join a group, right?
Hmm.
And whether that's online or like in your community in person, and you might find like that group, doesn't feel right. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you joined it because you thought like this will be the answer, or I will feel like I belong or part of something, and then it isn't. But there might be that one or a few people in that group that
Yes.
you gravitate towards, or there's that connection, and like that's your soul family. So it's like maybe you join that group because you met a couple of people or one person that's part of your soul family. So I don't know
Right.
what you want to share, right? I think that's what people
I love
want.
it. I think
Yeah.
so too. I think
Yeah.
that you can have a soul family that really doesn't have a tribe in it. You know what I mean? You get into
Yeah.
that tribe, you find your soul family, and you get out and you start your own little soul family, you know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just blindly following everyone else. And we have to get back to our critical thinking and our free thinking ideas. And what can we contribute? Not what can we take, but what can we contribute? You know, how can we
Yeah.
give to our soul family and have it be reciprocal, have be receive and giving, you know, because
Yeah.
a lot of us don't know how to receive very well either. So a new friend comes along and you're like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm scared of
Yeah.
you, right?
Right. And soul family for me, it's like they are giving you something that your soul has been craving,
Yes, you can
right?
feel it.
So
Yes.
so even if it might be unpleasant at first, because sometimes when we, we receive certain types of messages or news or an experience, it's not always pleasant at the beginning, but it turns out like, it's good. Like it did wonders for your soul, for your
Right,
journey, right? So
you
for
just
me,
feel good.
so
Yeah.
yeah. So soul family that way, then it could be someone you never meet in person, but you
Right.
engage in like, okay, let's say in this group. So it could be like, oh, I'm engaging. I like listening to Julie and Tina, or I like listening to whoever who's always shows up in the group. And it's like, they're part of my soul family because
Yeah.
they make, they're giving me something for my soul, like to think about or to grow, or it brings peace or whatever it is. But it's like
Yeah.
it touches in here that,
Yeah.
maybe a regular family member doesn't do for you, or this group you signed up for doesn't do for you, right? So
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel this is the age of that soul family that
Yes. I
we're
love it.
embarking on. Yeah.
Trina's got
Yeah.
goosebumps, so it's
Yeah.
resonating with her because she's part of our soul group here, our soul
Yeah.
family.
Family. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, where you can say, this doesn't feel good, this anger, this angst, I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling, and not have people say, well, just believe this, or oh, don't
Right.
listen to that. That's just so
Right.
dismissive of how you're feeling.
Yes. Right. Right. Yeah. Or it's your
So
fault, right? And it's not always your
yes.
fault, right? People don't always want to hear that, right?
No, no.
Because there's so many I want to say like choices. What's a better word for choices? But like there's so many
Ideas.
ideas, right? And modality, like things that we can
Yeah.
explore, but it doesn't, it may not be right or sit right at the beginning or at that time in your life. And soul family is about like you feel totally accepted or welcome for where you're at and who you are at that moment in life. Because everyone
Yes.
wants to do better or be better, but we're not
Right.
always at our best, right? And it's like it's at those times it's like we need that connection or we need that support,
Yes.
however it shows up. But it's like soul families will be like, okay, I'm here
Yes.
for
I love
you,
that.
right?
Hmm.
I love you for you or whatever. And it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be, all gushy, but it's like there's that they want you to thrive or, and be well as well, right? Like they have your,
Yes.
mhm.
Yeah. Tough love isn't working too well with society.
No,
Right?
no. And yeah. And, and like, I mean, things, everyone has their belief system and, but what gets me is like when they push or they get on their soapbox and it's like they're the be all end all. That's the way. That's the answer. Like,
Yes.
and it's like it's not always. No, no,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not. How does
Mm.
it make you feel? Look at Trina again on fire today. People come in and out of our lives for different reasons. Sometimes we are the student, sometimes we are the teacher. Oftentimes we don't even know. We can say something or hear something that resonates with you that impacts your life right? It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You could just hear something like hearing the word soul family, and it's life changing because it's like, that's what I've been looking for. That's
Yeah.
the connections I've been finding. These tribes. You know what? I think I told you the other night. It's very school feeling to me. You know, I was bullied in school, and I kept to myself. I had my own little soul family that said to me, Julie, you're beautiful. You know, I love you, not what you look like or what other people are saying about you. So I had my little soul family. Chrissy is one of them, Chris Osman on here. She was part of my soul family, and she always will be because of that. She loved me for my ideas, for who I was, for the fun we had together. You know, we could get each other laughing till we were peeing our pants, you know.
Right. Right.
And that's a soul sister to me. That's
Yeah.
somebody, a lifelong teacher for me. Sometimes I've been her teacher, sometimes I've been her student, you know, in our lifetime. So I like that. I do like that. I always felt left out of the tribe, you know, when they were picking teams for the dodgeball game and I'm the last, nobody wants Julie on the team. You know what I mean? You just have this feeling of being left out, of not included in any tribe. I felt that way, you know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
excluded. I didn't quite think the same way as them. I didn't really, somebody would say something and I would take it completely different. I would have a different understanding of what they
Yeah.
were saying. So I just felt kind of left out, you know.
Yeah.
It has that feeling to me. So when they were saying, find your tribe, you know, for some reason that was unsettling to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know that, you know, I want to say like I can tell like how much I've moved forward. And I'm not discounting tribe, but it feels like that's not where it's at anymore.
Right.
And I
Exactly
feel
right.
like a lot of people, it's the same thing. So it's like they want
Yeah.
connection. They want to feel this bond. And it's like tribe's not doing that.
Right.
And tribes feels like exclusive. Like you gotta believe in this or do this to get in our tribe. Whereas soul
Yeah.
family is like, you know, you're down in the dumps.
Yeah.
You're always sad. You're always, you know, a downer. Come on in. We'll still
Let's
have you part of
play.
our family. You know, like, yeah, it's like, because that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like they understand you're going through this dark, tough time, and it's like I'm here for you,
Yeah.
sweetheart. Right? It's because I
Showing up.
care about
Yeah.
you. Yeah, and then that's what people want,
Yes, they do.
right?
Yes. To show
So, and
up.
I feel yeah. So for a lot of people, it's just about presence or knowing
Mm-hmm.
someone cares, and it doesn't always have to be about what they do for you or what they say or how they, you know, it's
Absolutely.
just you just know like they care, right?
Yeah.
And I feel
Yes.
that's what family is about. So mhm.
Sometimes with throughout my lifetime in big groups in big even church big gatherings, I've never felt more alone in my life, you know,
Mm.
with a million people around me. Then I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking.
I agree.
Then right. He wants to be in this soul family. You're
That's
included,
right.
Finn.
Yeah, that's right. Dogs and cats are always part of the soul family.
That's right.
Always.
That's right. Always,
Yeah.
always
Always.
included.
Always. Yeah. Yeah. Every dog and cat out there is part of my soul family. I love you,
That's
Chris.
right. Me too. I feel the
Yeah.
exact same
Yeah.
way. They're
Yeah.
all included.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I have felt more empowered, you know, with smaller
Mhm.
groups. I just have. I feel I just don't do well in large groups. I never have.
Yeah. Yeah. Because large groups, you know what I find? Because I'm taking a class right now, and it's a large group, and I find it's like that classroom mentality. It's like sucking up to the teacher. Like there's people in the group that are
Yes.
sucking up to the teacher,
Yes.
and
I
I'm
get
like, oh,
it. Yeah. When they're like, "Oh, that's so true." I see what you're like, "Really?" Because I didn't get that at all.
you know, and
I don't
it's just
understand.
yeah, and it's kind of snobby,
It is. It
right? So
is.
it's because it
It's
makes because it's you know like I get the impression it's like you're not good enough for me,
well,
right?
it's
Because you're
competitive.
not
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like oh
It's competitive. Once again, we're in a competition. It's last man standing. It's Survivor. You know, the television show Survivor. You form
yeah
allies to kick the others out. You know, It's all of who you can get rid of. Who can you get
Yeah.
rid of to make yourself look better and stronger and more knowing,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you with this soul family. I'm really feeling like that is a new path for me anyway, for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And take that path less trodden.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll get through. We will get through. Wednesday is going to be a big day for the world to see this transfer of power and to see that peace and unity is the only thing that's going to work for us. If we all keep trying to point out the problem and our our own ideology, we're just rabbit holing ourselves into war. That's where it leads, is war.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know. We've got to sideswipe. We've got to step in front of this anger and frustration energy that's come to a head here. It's really come to a head, right? I feel that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And they do this to us. They feel us. They fill us with these fears on the media. They're even with COVID. COVID's scary enough. It's really scary to see people around you dying. We don't know why, what's killing them, and not others. Underlying conditions, granted, but they don't know they have them. So that's scary. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But then you have this death clock, in the background and the countdown of who's dead and 500,000 Americans. Well, now I'm in hyper mode. Now I'm truly panicked.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't need that. I got to plug in my phone because I'm dying here.
Okay.
So yeah, all these fear-based, and then we get this virus. Well, we should all, the vaccine, we should all be celebrating a vaccine. We've done it. We've gotten over this virus. And they're not distributing them right. It's not going out right. Nobody's getting them. It's got a
Right.
chip in it. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all
And
these
then,
stupid things.
yeah. And
It's like
then
I
there's
don't need it.
stories. And then I'm also like, yeah, so a lot of stories like it's not safe.
Yeah.
All these different types of workers, like industries, like, the workers refusing. And it's like, well, if they refuse, should I refuse? Like,
Right. Do we need to know this? Yeah.
so, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. We should be celebrating as a world right now with the vaccine to a virus that's really hurt us all. It's taken us all out of our lives. We should be
Yeah.
celebrating.
And that leads me
Yes.
to the point of getting back to these rich white men, the
Mm-hmm.
richest men. So it's like, and then people wonder why they believe such stories or believe such things because, it's is it going to make a difference in our world? Is it going to make a difference in my world?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm
that's a good
making that right. I
question.
feel like I
Yes.
lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I know what you're saying though. Is it going to make a difference? Is
Like,
my argument going to make a difference?
well,
Or theirs?
it's just, I guess how I want to, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. It's like, people are wondering like why people believe in these theories or why people are listening to this story, right? And it's like, well, there are certain things that are happening that fuels the fire, and it makes people, question or doubt
Yeah.
the validity
Yeah.
of certain things. It's like, no wonder. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well,
I don't know if I'm trying to explain, and it's like how I see it and how it's coming out. It doesn't seem like it's matching.
right.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying though. It's Trina's again got it with the control because
Yeah.
we all have this need to control. So the only thing you can control is your health, yourself, where you shop, where you have your conversations, who you talk to. You have
Yeah.
control over those things. So the rest really is out of our control. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not healthy, which COVID threatens,
Yeah.
it all goes away. So
Yeah.
really health has to come forefront, and
Yeah.
and then you have science deniers too. So that kind of muddies up the waters.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of muddied waters, right? A
Yeah.
lot of muddied
Yeah.
waters.
Yeah. I guess it's like, the evidence. So it's like, okay, people saying COVID is about, controlling us, like controlling the
Yeah.
population, right? like for the
Yeah.
rich to have more power, to have more control over us. And it's like, well, when you hear a story that, you know, Jeff Bezos became even that much richer because of COVID, you know, it does fuel that fire of like, maybe they are right. Maybe the rich are trying to control all of us or rule the world.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I'm trying to go with this. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that's what is actually true, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, oh, I can understand why people might believe that story because,
Yeah.
you know, Jeff
Mm-hmm.
Bezos just raked in that much more money this past year because of COVID,
Yeah.
right? Like, and
But if
what's
you
he
look,
doing to help? And then the thing
yeah,
is
right.
what's he doing
Yeah.
to help alleviate
Yeah.
the struggle or the pain,
Yeah.
right? Because he can afford
Exactly.
to. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying like, and I know people say, well, it's just a band-aid. It's like, well, not for everyone. Like some people might take that and, you know, it'll make the world of difference in some way, right? Like it'll
Yeah.
just make, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, if you could listen, if you could talk to the people that believe that say, you know, the rich are trying to control us through them, they've already sucked all the money up. They really have. The money has already been sucked up. So now we're trying to struggle within this little piece of pie that we all have, that we're trying, and we're so competitive anyway. They've made us that way because of the workplace, because
Yeah,
if somebody does your job better than you, you're gone. You know, you lose
yeah,
your stability. So they've made us competitive. It's not,
yeah,
you know, the workplace has made us competitive in nature.
yes,
So, but really, so you have to ask Bezos making all of those billions of dollars during COVID. Well, because we were all quarantined and none of us could go to the store to buy our needed items. I have to buy
right,
my paper products from Walmart and Amazon because I can't go to the grocery store because it's too scary. So it's a result of the virus that has caused them to get richer because of our habits, our spending habits. And so who's to blame there? Is anyone to blame? Is Bezos to blame there? Now that he's not giving back that money, that's him to blame, right? You know, he
yeah,
absolutely is solely for him to blame. But we are consumers. We are the product. So if we go broke, they go broke. I mean, what kind of world is it with the elites having all of the money, you know, and having no consumers? They need consumers to keep
yeah,
that going. So
yeah,
they're in a tough spot too. They can't lose us, you know. They can't. You know,
uh-huh,
if Zuckerberg lost Facebook, you know, he would be like us, and nobody wants to be the norm anymore. Nobody wants to just be average anymore. You know, they all want to be special or in
yeah,
the limelight or have it all or
yeah,
king, or, you know, it's a different mentality now.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's
I
a
mean,
lot, but
it's a
focus
lot.
on what we can control is,
Yeah,
I guess, the answer to that.
yeah. It's almost like, you know, I just want to go cocoon somewhere and shut the troubles of the outside world. Don't,
Yeah,
but
me
it's,
too.
yeah.
But it's in your face everywhere you
Be
go.
be a wilderness woman.
Right? I'm going to move to Canada is what I'm going to do.
But I need running water, electricity, and heat. So I need,
You get into your dream home so I could move in with you.
yeah,
And Michael and Rosie and 4 dogs, so that's
yeah,
okay, right?
okay, yeah, 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 that's fine. That's fine.
And my mom
Yeah.
and dad, they got to come too.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just,
You don't have to answer now.
no, I'm just thinking like, oh, I'll have to like, I was gonna say build a bunch of igloos, but that's
There you go.
log cabins. Yeah.
Right, right. We just
Yeah.
do our own commune out in
Yeah,
Canada.
that's right. Yeah.
I like
In the
it.
wilderness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be
So,
wild.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think the whole conversation of this soul conversation is, let's be a soul family. Let's come together and support each other and love each other no matter what's going on around us, and keep
Yeah.
talking about our fears and our joys, and try to understand, try to find some understanding just within
Yeah.
our own little soul group.
Yeah, and I think soulful conversations, it's like getting to the heart of the matter and like trying not to get so, let's say, caught up in like who's right in this conversation, right? That's not what
Right.
soulful conversation is about. It's not saying like, yeah, you won that argument or we're arguing,
Yeah, you're right.
right? So it's
Yeah,
like, no. And I hope we demonstrated that
I
with
hope so.
our talk today, right? Like how we went with some topics, right? So it's like, yeah, just exploring and getting a feel or sense. It's like, okay, and you don't have to have all the answers right away. It's just
Yeah.
okay.
Who
Yeah.
does? Right?
Hmm.
It's okay to say I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it's wonderful to say that because you're open to learning.
Yeah, or you say like, I don't believe in this. It's like, okay.
That's okay.
And don't argue about it. Just, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're just, maybe ask like, why is it you don't believe in that? Like, just be curious about
Yes.
it, right?
Yes.
And
Just be curious. Yes.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
because there's so many good things ahead of us. We've got hope and we've got love and we have
mhm,
each other
yeah,
and what more could we need? So
mhm,
let's just keep going. Just keep put our heads down and get through this
yeah,
time. You know.
yes, yes, yes. So yeah, and Julie and I, like, we're here for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, any final words? I think we're.
I think
You think we're concluding here? You think?
I think we're
Think.
concluding. I think final words are get through this week. Whatever you have to do to get through this week, we can't control anything that's happening in the world or with COVID, with politics, with changeover. So just get through the week as happy and as peaceful as you can. Control what you can control
Hmm.
and just look away from the rest right now. Right
Yeah.
now, it's okay to escape all of this right now.
Yeah. 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 That's true. And my final words is so. Um, some of the messages I got for the collective for this coming week is to lay low.
Yeah.
Now, not everyone agrees with this because people will be like, "Well, we should be speaking up or protesting this," and like the guides say, like I mean, there's always a time and place for everything. That's how they look at. That's how I get it from them. And for whatever reason, they're saying like, "No, this is a week. It's to everyone's advantage to like step away, like to lay low." And lay low is like, and it's still going to be there. That conversation or whatever it is, it's still going to be there next week. It's just don't get involved so much. And I feel like they're looking out for us, like they're part of our soul family. So they're looking out for us, our well. So it's like, yeah, so just lay low.
Yeah.
Don't go out a lot. Don't engage in a lot if especially if you feel like, oh, it's gonna work me up or it's not gonna get it. So don't. Just keep your head down and do what's necessary. That's it. And if that means
Yes.
every evening this week you watch TV or movies, that's what you do. That's laying low, right? Like,
Absolutely. Oh,
yeah,
yes. Yes. Lay low. You don't need to prove your point this week. Just this week is all I'm saying. We can
yeah,
all get back to the conversation. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. And it's like, if what was the other thing? Lay low and shine love. So it's like for me, that's about okay. Let's say you heard something and it was upsetting. So yeah, that was upsetting. So just take a deep breath and then imagine you're shining love to it. Just give it some love. And it could be like a color. You could imagine, oh, I'm sending pink to that. Or you could imagine sending hearts. Whatever it is that feels or
Yes.
looks loving to you, right? So, and
Yeah.
the other thing, it's like do loving things for yourself this week. So it's like, oh, my favorite show is on Netflix. Then watch that. That's a loving thing for you to do. It's okay to
Yeah.
take a break or to veg out, right? If you feel
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to take a bath, take a bath. If that's a loving
Yeah.
gesture for
And
yourself. Yeah.
organize everything around you. I've been cleaning out cabinets and junk
Mm,
rooms and junk drawers and stuff because a cluttered house and workplace too, it does clutter your mind. If you can get some control over your environment, as far
Mm,
as organization, which I'm horrible at, but it does make me feel better when I'm done. I know where everything is, and it just helps. So I do
yeah.
recommend that if it
Yeah.
helps you.
Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
That's a loving thing to do. Yeah. Especially if you come across it. It's like you open up, because that's how my month's been going. It's like, oh, I need to go into here to look for this. And it's like, oh, I should clean this
Yeah.
out. And I'm in the mood.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
how I've been. Yeah.
so it's not like, a designated day, this whole day I'm going to focus on cleaning out all my drawers. No, it hasn't been that way. It's been like a little
Defeating.
bit along the way. And it just feels
Yeah.
like it's more relaxed. It feels more loving that way. It's like it's got my attention. I'm being, really
Yeah.
mindful or into it. Yeah. And yet
Right.
not being
Yeah.
overwhelmed all at once. Hmm.
It's a great distraction too. Take the time to, like Trina's saying again, take the time to take care of yourself. What a better distraction. And when you can stay healthy, I'm hearing that COVID is very not liking people who are healthy and aren't predetermined to have certain illnesses. So it'll help you all around. You know what I mean? It really will. So take
Yeah.
care of yourself. Take care of
Yeah.
yourself. Love yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lay low, everybody. Lay low this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could include too, like, if you normally like call certain people, or you have this feeling like, I don't want to talk to her or him, then don't do it. That's
Don't.
part of being,
Absolutely.
there's a reason. And yeah,
That's right.
you'll have a better conversation when you're more into it, if you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Good advice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for
Yeah.
watching and being part of our conversation. Trina, like, wow, she really shared a lot today. I love that when you
Oh, me
guys
too. Yeah.
share your thoughts and feelings in the chat room. Hmm.
Yeah. Get in on the conversation. Thank you so much, Trina.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
much. I appreciate all your lovely words. You were just
yeah,
beautiful today.
yeah. And hugs and
Yes.
kisses back to you.
Yes. Yes. All right. Have a great week.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you guys
we'll,
too.
all is well.
Yes, it is. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye.